Well, Real is unfortunately definitely getting bounced. He's one of the drivers definitely getting bounced. Whoopsies! I know. Why, you could hear us? How? I shut that off. I have it off.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
All right, we are live here in Bristol for another playoff championship race. Myself, Jacob Emery's in the booth alongside Brandon Bowie. Brandon, welcome.
Hello, hello. Glad to be
Ooh.
here tonight at this beautiful looking Bristol Motor Speedway. And then guess what? It doesn't have any dirt on it for once.
Yeah, no dirt. Surprisingly, we don't have that this evening. So it's going to be fun to see how these guys race around the track without it. But I will say I've been hearing some talks on the driver. A lot of them, some of them, want the dirt. So that's interesting to hear them talk about this race early on as we're in practice still. What do you think about that, Brandon? Do you like the dirt, or do you like the asphalt?
No. No, I don't like the dirt. These cars are not meant to be on dirt. They're meant to be on pavement. And in my opinion, that's the way it should stay. If we want to do dirt races, then I would probably vote for maybe an all-star race or something of that nature. But dirt races that can affect or that are like in the playoffs or can affect the championship or the run for the championship, I just don't think that that's a fair shake for the rest of the guys. But you know, some people feel like it's a great equalizer, like a super speedway type of situation. But you know, to each their own. But in my opinion, nah, dirt's for dirt cars. This is not a dirt car.
This is not a dirt car. I'm kind of in the same boat. Dirt is an experience. It's fun. It's challenging if you haven't done it for the majority of your racing career, but it kind of mixes things up for NASCAR, and they do it for the show, and I think that's been transitioning for the last 2 to 3 years. Good way to bring other other communities in here to watch, and I'm a fan of it, but not a fan of the driving. But tonight, last race was great. We had great driving tonight. We'll see how these guys handle this track. We are here for the 22Q awareness race at Bristol Speedway. Stages, gonna be 3 stages. Stage 1's at 50, stage 2's at 110, and the finish is gonna be at 200. Now on Tuesday, we did see a handful of cautions, but you'll start seeing that here at Bristol. Short track action. A majority of these drivers are gonna be battling for the championship points to win that championship. It's gonna be fun and see how these guys handle it and what they can do tonight.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, I will say that I'm watching some of these guys now, as we see the practice, you know, with about 2 minutes, 10 seconds to go. But, you know, these guys are doing everything they can. They know who they have to chase and win. And, of course, that's going to probably have to be Mr. Brandon Six, as he was our last week's winner at Darlington. But, you know, there's some new challengers have decided to race tonight. Whitley in the 7 is racing tonight along with driver of the number 4, Nick Lights. So, you know, those 3, I mean, honestly, those are probably the top guys right now. And, you know, those guys are going to try and try to dethrone and try to keep Sticks from going back to back. So, it's going to be a great battle with these guys and to see what they can do. And you never know. Somebody like a Feather Place or Millie or Larson or Marshall or anybody like that, they can still have a possibility of winning this race. It's all about strategy and how you can manipulate the race to, number 1, not go a lap down, and number 2, be there at the end. So tons of race laps, I should say, since there's 200 laps. So plenty of time for these guys to kind of figure it out and try to figure out how to dethrone the 66 car for the night.
Yeah, 66. Mr. Brandon Six last week just dominated the whole field, got his win, and like you were talking about, number 7, Mark Whitley's here tonight. A strong driver in the truck series, a strong driver here in these cup cars. Now, one thing that's going to be interesting about Bristol is the short runs. You've got those runs. You also may see some long runs. But on Tuesday, we saw all short runs. Some drivers, I believe, are better short run drivers than long. And it's going to pay out. Maybe some drivers will have a challenge in that short span if we have some cautions. But if we stay green, might see some of these other drivers that you might not think be up top winning it take advantage of that. But right now, practice is about to end. We're going to go to qualifying. Mark Whitley in that 7. He was looking good in practice, running some good times. Nick Lights, Michael Fetterplace, John Wright, Joseph Mealy, man, Josh Larson, Edward Marshall, such good drivers in this race to battle to get the championship. As practice is coming to an end, we're going to jump into qualifying and see what happens, Brandon.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what these guys can do, especially with qualifying. I mean, I ran a couple laps, and the first lap, these tires are definitely not up to temp, and these guys are absolutely loose. And they've got a handful the first couple of laps, so it'll be interesting to see what these guys can do. You know, Mark Whitley is always, you talked about earlier about having short run speed. I would say Mark Whitley probably, or Nick Lights are probably the two guys with the short run speed. So I'm going to say that probably one of them possibly gets the pole, but hey, I could be wrong. Somebody else could possibly pull it off, but I'm going to probably say one of those two probably gets it done.
Yeah, on this track, entry, saving tires, those all come to a factor, especially when you're side by side too. You can get on the inside, get stuck there, and you're getting past, and then your line's completely different of what you feel comfortable with. So the short track aspect of that type of racing really makes it challenging for some of these drivers. I think a lot of them want to stay on the outside, but if you get stuck on the inside, you're just eating your tires up, and they might fall back quite a few spots. As we're looking at Mark Whitley right now, he's qualifying. He's running a 14.529. He's got the pole as of now. Pretty good time as he's up there, number 6 now.
Ooh.
Joe David, he got loose and gonna hit the wall. Fortunate for him.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying before. You know, his car is definitely on the loose side on the short run. And it's basically just because of what the new update that iRacing provided. It basically, the tire does not start out at the optimal temperature. It takes a couple laps for that tire pressure to kind of build up. So these guys it's almost driving on ice for the first couple of laps until the tire temps come up. Once the tire temp comes up, then it drives like you would expect it to. But for those first couple of laps, it's a little on the sketchy side. And then I was looking at the board because it says the 66 is Meeks, which last time that said 55. I could say 55.
It says so. Yeah.
Okay.
55
Yeah, sorry.
for Thomas Meeks.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry. It looked like 66 to me.
You're
55 of Meeks is sitting P2. Great lap for him. Especially being able to get closer to the front, the better.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to stay out front here at Bristol, and sometimes some of these paint schemes kind of get mixed up with the numbers, so it is hard to tell on our end, but we can definitely see number 54 there, Matt Smith, putting in some lap times. He's sitting now 5th, and then we're looking at Josh Larson. He's going to put down his first lap, and Josh Larson, P2, 14.65.
Yeah, it looks like he tried to see if he can get another lap out of it, but looks like he did tag the wall, so unfortunately that lap will not. Second lap won't count. Or the last lap that he was just doing won't count. So, but still a heck of a lap. 14.6. I mean, only a 10th off of Whitley at a 14.52. So, you know, even though you know, for this particular race, it really doesn't matter, you know, whether you get the pole or not. Mainly, you just kind of want to be up front, probably within the top 5, top 6. Anything outside of that, it's gonna be a little bit difficult to try and get around people and save your tires at the same time. So, I'm kind of expecting some people to definitely take it easy the first couple laps, as I've just been told that the Brandon 6 is now on the track, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do. See if he can go up there and get P1 from Whitley. But yeah, I mean, these guys are gonna have to take their time. Have to, like I said, let these tires come up to speed, or cut up the temp. I'm sorry. And then once they finally come up the temp, then they can probably start making their moves toward the front, kind of running the high side and the low side. But they're gonna have to really, really be easy, because it's very, very easy to burn up these tires. And once you start burning them up, it's really hard to get them back into the 66. But it's a huge slide coming across the line, and spectacular fashion.
We talked about this earlier. Man, if we're looking at Brandon Six getting loose like that on a qualifying, it's going to be tough conditions out there. He almost had the pole there, a little off behind Mark Whitley, but man, it might be a challenging race for these drivers here at Bristol.
Yeah, well, that's an example of pushing it 110%.
Yeah,
you're giving it all you got. And actually, I just saw a Feather Place up there, the 14.59. I mean, it's very. I mean, the top three are pretty close in time, so that's actually pretty interesting to see so far. Still got about 5 minutes left in qualifying, so still a couple of drivers left that still have a chance to go up there and see what they can do.
We got a couple of drivers left. That number 77, Mike Carvo, he hasn't put a time up, and the number 4, Nick Lights and Joseph Mealy, all haven't put time, so we'll see if they can jump up and get the pole, or at least the top 5 here at Bristol. Right now, as it sits, John Wright with the pole. He's got a 14.521. Mark Whitley in second. Brandon Six in third. Brandon Fetter place in fourth. Josh Larson in fifth. That's your top 5. As it may sit that way, qualifying's coming to an end here shortly, and we'll get racing here at Bristol. Last week was so much fun, Brandon, to see these guys drive around the track. They were patient. They drove so good, so really smooth, and some fantastic racing. But this is going to be completely different in this small track action. They're going to be banging. They're going to be hitting each other and making their moves, and we will see some cautions, but that's typical for this racetrack. Mm-hmm. I think they'll figure it out early on. Right now, they know those tires are going to be a little slick for the first couple laps, but man, I think they'll get it together.
Yeah, and it's just like I said, if they take their time and do what they can, then they should be good to go. But looks like we're gonna try and see if we can bring Mike Corvo in. Mike Corvo, you got a copy?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, yeah. We're doing pretty good. Hopefully you are having an awesome night tonight. So from what I understand, you are part of being the sponsor for tonight, the 22Q awareness race at Bristol Motor Speedway. If you could tell us a little bit about what the 22Q awareness is all about.
Yeah, so 22Q is a rare autoimmune disease. Affects actually a lot of people that go undiagnosed with it. And 22q.org is just a organization that helps fund research, medical research. No cure for it or anything. It's just to help out families that can't afford the treatment and need some help getting through it. It's family support, medical support, all sorts of different types.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's pretty awesome to hear. As always, it's good to hear that there is support. There's a lot of different diseases, and everybody can use any type of support. I will definitely say that. Emery, you got anything for Corvo?
No, good luck out there in the 77. I'm rooting for you, and it's cool to be a part of this race with you. And good luck again.
Yeah, thanks. I'll share a link later on in the YouTube or in the race replay in here. I'll share a link that describes what 22Q actually is. If anybody wants to take a minute to research and listen, it's done by Saquon Barkley from the New York Giants. His niece actually suffers from it, so it's actually pretty good. I'll share it in the video later, and I'm gonna start out back and hopefully survive this.
Absolutely. Well, good luck. Thanks again.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Steve, for taking care of this for me.
Right on. Well, this is the cool thing about this league is we put on races. We show support for racers, for individuals, for different programs, and it's just fun to be a part of. We've had 2 or 3 races this season that are dedicated to a special cause, and it's just really great and feels good to be a part of that. If he sends that link, there is a way to donate as well, so keep that in mind. Again, 22Q awareness race. There is a link in the YouTube channel, so check that out as well. And we are about to be done with qualifying. I think we're going to jump right into racing in about 30 seconds. So we're going to go green flag at Bristol. Brandon, anything you got before this race starts that we should be looking out for?
Maybe we should take a drink for how many times somebody self spins. No, I'm joking. No, I mean these guys, like I said, they understand how loose the car is and they understand how hard they have to push it. So I expect a little bit of give and take at the beginning. Will we have some cautions, like you said earlier? Yes, for sure. But at the end of the day, it's where you can, how can you capitalize on everything that's going on? So if we know that the car is loose, then you, as a driver, you got to look at ways to capitalize on people who are more loose than you are. So I think it's going to be a very fun race to watch. It's going to be interesting to see the different strategies and how it plays out. Darlington, had a couple of different strategies with it basically staying green besides the stage caution. So, could we possibly have that again tonight? It would be cool if we did.
It would be cool if we did, and we just might. We're gonna drop down to the field. They are gridded up, and we're gonna start with John Wright, that pole setter. And he's starting right next to Mark Whitley in the number 7. He's in the 2 spot. In the number 4, Nick Lights, he's in 3rd, right next to Brandon 6 in the 66. Brandon Fetter plays in 5th. Going to be alongside 51, Josh Larson. He's in 6th. Joseph Mealy, he's in 7th. Thomas Meeks in that 55, he's starting 8th. And then we got Edward Marshall. He's in 9th, right next to Matt Fleming in the 88th. He's going to be in 10th, and that is your top 10. All the other guys here, Matt Smith, 11th. Michael Lanfear, he is 12th. Nick Biddy, 13th. Joe David, he is 14th. And Mike Periveau in the 77, he is in the back of the grid. See if he can do some damage and get some passes here at Bristol. Maybe you'll get a win. Who knows? Anything can happen at these short tracks. I will say, I've kind of been butchering Mike's name all season long, but today I figured it out. So I'm glad I did. Early on, Brandon, I know you were giving me some crap for it, but I got it figured out.
Well, hey, look, it's never too early, or never too late, I should say, to figure out the pronunciation of somebody's name. So you're not the only one. I'm pretty bad with people's names as well. So, hey, look, we're all human. We all make mistakes. I am grateful and thankful that guys don't want to try to chop off my head because I said the name wrong.
Yeah, it's a learning situation for myself, for you. Just like these drivers, I mean, all season they've been trying to figure out these conditions, these tracks. This is not an easy season. A lot of the tracks that we have these drivers race are difficult, and that makes it fun for us. It makes it fun for the drivers and everybody at home watching. It just brings a different aspect to this series and to this league. We got one more lap. The lights are off, and then we'll go green real quick. Want to thank everybody, all the sponsors: Units Moving Portable Storage, Wheels America, Admin Box, Flim Dogs, the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast, and Harpoon Designs here at the 22Q awareness race at Bristol. We are about to go green for some short track action as we are in this second race, I believe, for the championship. Got 200 laps. Stage 1's going to end at 50 laps. Stage 2 at 110. And the finish, 200.
All right, so the pace car is off. And we are green. Let's see what these boys can do.
Green flag, Josh. John Wright. Excuse me. Mark Whitley up front early on. As they're going to try to go 3 wide? No. 2 wide there. Turn 2.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Literally, 04, Wright was on the pole, and in 2 laps he is sitting P5. So, stuff happens very fast here at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Absolutely. Mark Whitley's got to get in a run right now. Brandon 6 right there as well. These laps go by quick. So 200 seems like a lot, but here at Bristol, they go very fast. And caution free so far, 4 laps down. Mark Whitley, Brandon 6, Nick Lights, and Brandon Fetterplace right up there in the top 3. Driving pretty smooth. Little bit of side-by-side and a lot of single file. Oh, and we get 1 car. Brandon got loose. We saw this in qualifying. Still green.
No green.
No caution. He must have saved it. He's struggling out there early on in that 66, man. Let's see what happens here on the inside. It's a little loose on the backstretch, it looks like. No.
That looks like coming out of 4, maybe.
Coming out of 4.
Just
Yep.
trying to catch it. Did he?
It's saved by him for the most part.
That's a pretty good hit. Yeah, it has some damage as well. So, you know, he's just gonna have to. You know, I'll say this: he got his win at Darlington. He's pretty lucky that he has his win at Darlington. Cause now, hey, you put the 7 in. Okay.
Contact there with the 4.
Contact with the 4 and the 7. Okay.
Nick Light says, I'm right here as he hit the bumper, and that sends old Mark in the second. Mark Whitley in second place now.
Yeah, wow. It's a little aggressive, but
that's a little bit of that short track action we like to see here at Bristol, though.
Yeah, and you know, I don't remember the 7 and the 4 having any issues, but now is not the time to have it. We're at Bristol, and things can happen pretty quickly. So, I don't know. Maybe that was a mistimed move. I don't know. So we'll have to see what happens. But, whew, don't start any enemies here at Bristol. It won't be a good race for you.
No, it could have been a situation with a little bit of checkup as we're looking at Brandon Fetterplace in that 34 inside, sitting 3rd now. Right in the 04, trying to get by him on the outside. This is kind of what I was talking about early on while we were in practice is if you're down low in that position where 34 is, you gotta really stick in that groove and you gotta stay there. So you might eat some tires up, and looking like he likes it down low. He could have went up there, but man, seems like he likes that groove.
Yeah.
Now he's back up.
And now we're riding with Josh Larson. As you see, he's kind of apex in the corner. He's trying to get a good run off the corner. He's actually doing a really, really good job. Oh, this is somebody who was on the track. Whew, I don't know who that was, but that was pretty close. But... Oh, no. What is going on? We got the 6 coming down pit road. We got the 7-7 of Corvo coming down. What in the world?
Like they may have had some contact, or maybe they're just saying, "Hey, we're gonna pit, regroup." He tried to pit. Looks like Brandon missed it.
Yeah, I was gonna say either that, or maybe he had something broke as well. So, but I'm not. Well, he's on pit road, so he has to go all the way to the front. But it looks like he's going a lot slower than 35. But I could be wrong. Could just be the viewpoint.
This track is not an easy track to enter pit lane. It's you got to practice it because these corners can be deceiving and your speed can be deceiving as well. It's 34 looking like he's in 6th now. He's on the inside trying to get by Mealy. Not there quite yet. He's running a different line than a lot of these drivers. He seems like he's on the inside a lot more than any of these drivers out here. Do you think that's a good choice early on? Is that where he wants to save, or is it faster for him? What are your thoughts on that, Brennan?
Well, running the bottom for sure will save your tires more. You know, it's a momentum really when you run the bottom. The high side, you know, you can pretty much just go, you know, hard from the start to the end, but you know, you're gonna heat up your right rear, and we already saw, you know, Brandon 6, you know, spinning off the corner, so that already tells me the car is a little on the loose side. Now, what it does on the long run, I don't know, but you know, staying on the bottom for sure will allow you to save your tires a little bit better. Running that high line will burn up your tires, but again, it just depends on your settings. If you're already on the snug side, maybe you want to run the high line so you can free it up more. But hey, at the end of, you know, will you still be in the same position on lap 50? I don't know. So we're gonna have to see what these guys can do. Mark Whitley is still trying to walk back down lights after the little skirmish he had looking back a little bit, Brandon Six is all the way back in P13. He is 11 seconds back behind the leader. He's probably not too far away from even going a lap down. So he is definitely. But looks like I was just told that he's as fast as the leader right now. So we'll have to see how this kind of works out for him. You know, he does have some damage, so he's definitely going to have to get that fixed now. Sometimes the damage actually makes the car feel better. As we see a pass of the 7 and the 4. And it looks like the 7 is going to try again. So it looks like Nick Lights might have burnt up his tires a little bit too fast. Trying to get by him. I mean, only halfway through the stage.
You're right. Mark Whitley looking pretty good on the inside. He's going to make up some time and try to get that pass. And he's doing clean as Lights gave him a little tap not too long ago. We are over halfway here on stage 1. This first stage is going to end at 50 laps. And these guys will regroup. One thing I'm seeing that we only have 2 drivers that are really pulling away. Only 3 to 4 seconds. And then from 3rd down to 10th. Pretty close. You got one driver in that 66. He's 10 seconds behind, so he is getting close to that lap position. But man, it's good racing. No caution so far. 29 laps down, and we're gonna get to 50 laps in no time if this pace keeps up. As the number 55 right there is on board, Thomas Minks. He started 8th. Is now looking at 9th. Driver right behind here, Michael Lamphere. He started 12th. Is sitting 10th now. Good battling so far at Bristol. Love to see this early on in qualifying and practice. They were struggling, but it looks like they figured it out. We got a great battle up front there with Nick Lights and Mark Whitley. Mark Whitley trying to get by on the inside, just can't do it as Nick is on the 4 on the outside and staying there the whole time. Here comes Mark on the inside now. Can he make the pass? Not home.
Yeah, but it really looks like these guys are just, like, you can tell how hard the 7 is throwing it in there in the corner, and it's just, man, I just feel like these guys are just burning up their tires so fast right now. And a good battle between the 55 and the oh, squeezed him in the wall. There's a car up high, buddy. Don't knock yourself out of the race too soon.
Yeah, came up on the driver there, just went across his nose, but no harm, no foul. We're still green. We're looking at 55 on the outside. Is he going to go 3 wide? They keep it clean. No caution. Unbelievable there. Now look at 66. He's moving on up now.
Yeah, came and gone.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to be talking about lapping anytime soon. He might have been hearing the stream or the broadcast. He says, I'm putting in gear. There's no way I'm getting lapped in first stage. And Mike his way up through the field quick here. 54 on the inside by Meeks.
Yeah, these guys are racing really, really hard. I mean, but I get it. You know, you're trying to make it into the top 10 so that way you can get some stage points, because stage points are so important for the playoffs. And the 66 said, okay, challenge accepted. He is now in the top 10, so he will definitely, as long as he stays in it, he will get at least some stage points. Not many. Looks like he's still pretty far back behind EJ Marshall, but yeah, I mean these guys are, you know, right now it's close between the 16 and 88. There's so much action going on around here. It's hard to keep up with it.
Yes, now we're seeing Mark Whitley and Lights 5 seconds, 6 seconds, still ahead of the field, and we were talking 4 through 10. Just right there, anything can happen at Bristol right now. Guys get loose, they're in 3rd. Guys get loose, he may be in 4th. But up front here, we're going to take a look at that battle with the 7 and the 4, and this is where they got the pass on the inside.
Yeah,
right there for Mark. Yeah,
that's what I was saying before. Running that high line is okay for the first, 20, 30 laps. After that, it just eats those tires, and the easiest way to save your tires is to continue to run the bottom. And as you can see, Mark Whitley has basically stayed on the bottom. So he's doing what he needs to do. He wants that stage win. The 66 is Brandon Six looks like has caught the 16 and the 88. Matt Fleming. So he's he's doing everything he can to try to gain back as many points as he can. Oh, I'm sorry. He's trying to gain as many points so he doesn't lose any points. But you know, with his win, I mean, technically he's already locked into the next round, but he's still trying to take as many points away from everybody else, as we can see.
Well, he's doing a great job. Got loose, actually spun, hit the wall on the inside at a turn 4. Was looking like he was going to go a couple laps down, at least one, but now has battled back and looking pretty well. He's now 7th. He was in grid 4. So quite a testament for that driver to make his way through the pack, and looking like he might maybe get a top 5 finish at the end of the stage. We only have a few laps left, and the stage 1 will end at 50 laps.
Looks like we got a nice battle between the 04 and the 51 of Josh Larson. Larson again running that bottom lane. Oh, he's technically running the middle to bottom, but like I said, the bottom lane is where, if you've been running down there and you've been doing a good job in saving your tires, you will definitely make up time on the cars in front of you. It's just a matter of how long it takes you to get there.
Yeah, we all know Mark Whitley, especially in the Truck Series. He knows how to save some tires, and he's doing it here today in Bristol, working that inside lane. Majority of the drivers on the outside. Whoa, we got some close contact there by the 51, Larson. About got into right there in the 04, as now he's going to get the pass maybe on the inside. Not home, nothing yet. Is he going to dive back down and try to get that pass? He's trying to work by lights in that 04. Good contact. That will bring the end of stage 1. Mark Whitley ran away with it here. Congratulations to him. Nick Lights, John Wright, Josh Larson, and Joseph Mealy there in your top 5. Good racing, Brandon, here at Bristol. I didn't see a caution-free stage 1 happening, but it did, and it's fun to watch.
Well, technically we probably shouldn't. There was a couple of cars that with the 66 who self-spun. A couple other cars look like they went down pit road, so I'm assuming they hit the wall or spun as well. So surprised that we did not have a caution, but I'll definitely take it. I mean, nice green flag run. Guys, the drivers were able to see what their tires does on the long run. I'm pretty sure Lights has learned a couple things since he didn't get a chance to keep the lead there. So that'll probably help him for stage 2. We'll have to see what these guys can do.
Yeah, as they're pulling in the pits, Mark Whitley and Lights right on top of each other there. They're going to be trying to battle for maybe the first position out of the gate. Pit road is the challenge, like we talked about.
Yeah, this is actually one of the, and I'll be honest with you, this is probably one of the most annoying things that happens since this is a single pit road. It's from the entry into, what is it, 3, I believe, and it goes all the way around to the exit of 2. So the one of the issues is if you have lap cars in between you, there's such a big gap that you actually lose the advantage of trying to pick up on cars. So it's So actually,
Yeah,
I'm
Brandon.
sorry, I said that wrong.
Yeah.
It's
No, the entries are a little different. Either way, at Bristol, it's like driving. It's like driving a car going 100 miles per hour, and then you're in a school zone of like 10 miles per hour, and it just feels like you're going nowhere. It's so slow, it's deceiving, and I think that's the frustrating part about that. As I think we're going to bring in Mark Whitley in the 7, our stage 1 winner. Mark, you got a copy there.
Gotcha.
Mark, congratulations on that stage 1 win. Coming out of the gate strong. You missed last week, but this week at Bristol looks like you're feeling it here at this track.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite tracks. It's was going really good for us in the truck race Tuesday until it wasn't. So hopefully we can just keep it rolling. Seems like we got some pretty decent long run pace. So just gonna hopefully keep the long run speed up and just try to hopefully it goes green.
Absolutely, Brandon. You got something real quick for Mark before we go green?
Yeah, I gotta stir up the pot a little bit. What was the situation between you and Lights there with that little bump he gave you? I was like, I don't think that was part of the plan. So, were you expecting that little bit of a bump, or was that
I don't know if it was from the lap before when I kind of got a little bit loose and I slid up in front of him, and I think he tapped me, got in the back. So I don't know if he didn't like it, but I mean, I couldn't help it. It got a little loose, so I chased it up. But I don't know. It's whatever. It's too early to get into petty squabbles this early. So just keep
I
it in the back pocket. If I need to do, and if I need to do the same later, I can.
I hear you, my man. All right, well, go out there, have some fun. You guys are great. Come back to green. Good luck, man.
Thank you.
Well, we will be going back to green here in just a bit. Caution lights are off the car, and we will go back to racing as the caution car is off the track now. Mark Whitley, green flag at Bristol, is going to take us away as he gets a great jump into turn one. Nick Lights and John Wright there, both behind, trying to make up some room.
Ooh, yeah, Millie got it really, really loose there. But hey, you guys got to remember, we saw the 66 do it. These tires are cold. You're going to have to take it easy the first couple laps, let the tires come up to pace, then you can start moving forward. If you go harder than the tires want you to, they will let you know. But looks like the 66 is on to something. Looks like he possibly learned something from the last session or last stage as well.
Yeah, and I think we're going to take a look at the 66 damage that he had on that front left. He got loose and touched the wall. It's still there. So that doesn't seem like it's affecting the car too much. But if he does have some more contact there, we might have some issues as he's making his way through the pack pretty well, though.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's Bristol. You really don't really focus too much on the damage. You've seen in real NASCAR, you've seen literally guys with no back bumper run through the field, and I can't remember what year that was, but it was some car had no back bumper and he just about won the race. So damage pieces really don't. I mean, they do matter, but not to the point where it's like, oh, there's a possibility he's gonna not even finish in the top 20. Unless you have extreme, wheel damage or engine damage or transmission damage or something like that, there's still a chance you can go out there and have a great finish here at Bristol. So, some scuffs for the 66, but it doesn't look like it's slowed him down at all.
No, he's looking real good out there on the inside again. Majority of these faster drivers out are doing that inside lane. It looks like it's working for the majority of them. Now the stage 2 is a little bit farther, a little bit longer. We end at 110 laps. Do you think that's going to be a huge factor for some of these drivers that may have a challenge because their tires are worn? You got to think about that. We always say stage 2 is where all the action happens and the movement, and you can definitely burn your tires up here at Bristol.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely can. Running the high line is probably one of the easiest ways to burn up the tires. As you're watching the 66 and the 04 have a very, very hard battle right now, but unfortunately the 66 is the one who's going to have the better tires there at the end, because the 04 is going to have to, he's having to stay in the throttle more and longer than the 66 is. So over time the 66 will pass the 04 once he doesn't self-spin again. But yeah, I mean, the 04 is doing what he has to do, though, right? If a caution comes out, hey, he stays in front of the 66. That's an extra spot. But at the same time, running that high line, like I said, you're just putting more and more heat into that right rear. And the more you do that, the looser the car is going to get, or the tighter the car is going to get, because you didn't put so much heat in the right front. So it's just a battle of balance. The 66 get loose again. Almost self-spins, but does not, holds on to it. But yeah, and that's probably a prime example of how hard the 66 is driving to just get in front of the 04.
Yeah, and I believe the inside lane is more challenging but faster. You can run that outside to inside and be pretty confident, but if you run the inside lane, there's not much room for mistakes, and if it does happen, you're definitely going to spin, as we saw him do early on. But he's doing well now, and he's figured it out. As we're looking at number 39 there, the 16 battling it out. 71 laps down. We got to go to 200. This stage ends at 110. Everybody at home, Wheels America Racing Network, thanks for being here. And thanks to our sponsors, Unit Moving Portable Storage, Wheels America, Admin Box, Flim Dogs, the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast, Harpoon Designs, and also thank you for this race sponsor, 22Q Awareness Race at Bristol. Check out the link at the YouTube, and also make a donation if you can. What's some great racing, man. Brandon, 73 laps down, no cautions. It's been fantastic seeing these guys drive. Early on, I would have told you that this wouldn't happen, and I can never tell the story. It always goes the opposite way that we think's gonna play out. But man, this has been such a treat at Bristol. We saw truck racing have some caution issues. A lot of drivers were not comfortable doing that race on Tuesday, but here tonight, nothing but green flag racing.
Well, also the thing that we have to take away from this as well is even some of the guys from the truck race are in here. You know, Nick Lights and Mark Whitley, and 04 right as well, and some of the other guys here. You know, even though the truck is a completely different vehicle, the same process applies. I mean, see, like race car drivers always say, put me in the car, let me get some seat time, I'll be a better driver. I can promise you that. And it's the same thing here. Even though it's a completely different car, you're running laps at Bristol in a vehicle. That's what you need to understand what the track is going to do, what you actually need, to do in order to be fast. Learn from some of the faster people in the race and try to figure out, hey, I'm struggling with passing. Okay, so ride behind people who are making passes and maybe see what they're doing. Maybe see their throttle points, their brake points, their steering inputs. There's a multitude of data and information you can learn from just running a race at any track. It doesn't matter what the vehicle is, you're still going to learn something. So, it probably shows why Lights, and Whitley are running up front. They ran the truck race. The 66, as great of a driver as he is, did not run the truck race. And so, he's having to play a little bit of catch up. So even though, he's won as many races as he has, practice, and doing, and unfortunately, I don't know how long the truck race was, but even, like I said, doing that mini race, that kind of gives them, Lights and Whitley, that kind of gives them a little bit of a leg up. I believe Wright did it as well. So, look like, Aaron Larson in the wall.
Yeah, Larson's in the wall. Brandon Fick's going to get on the inside to try to make that move. And he was real close to that 04 up there as well. So the only two in front of him, in front of 6, would be Lights and Whitley. But let's see if he can make this pass first. He just doesn't have it yet. 83 laps down. Stage ends at 110. These laps are going by so quick at Bristol. It is a short track. Before you know it, we'll be at that stage 2 and then the end of this race. But right now, great racing as 51 gets high again, almost into the wall. Keeps it clean, Josh Larson there. And one thing I want to talk about, I'm looking at the field, Brandon. We only have one guy, Thomas Meeks. He's 1 lap down. 2 other guys, I think, decided they wanted to pull off the track. But other than that, the whole field is looking really good. Thomas Meeks in the 55.
Yeah, sorry, the 51 and the 04 and the 66 are having a hellacious battle right now. These guys are just all over each other. They're getting so loose off the corner. You got the 51 that gave John Wright a little bump on the front stretch and almost got him squirrely. So these guys are putting on a heck of a race right now. And it's great to see that even though, well, they just about wrecked. But even though, it's Bristol and everybody understands Bristol's one of the hardest races to do, these guys are still putting on a heck of a race for the fans.
Yeah, Larson just tapped the wall again, so 6 gets past him finally, as now he's trying to work for the 04 on Wright. But, man, they were battling out there. We're looking at the 3rd, 4th, and 5th position in stage 2. They're battling like they're on about 10 to go at Bristol, so clean racing, no spinning, a little bit of checkup, but nothing crazy. Man, now 6 is still on the inside making the charge. He's trying to get by Wright.
Yeah, again, a lot of give and take, a lot of clean racing that I'm seeing here. That's what it's all about. We don't have to have caution field races. And the reason why we do is because people have different driving styles. But what we're seeing the last 2 races is a lot of respect between the drivers. You know, they can race hard, they can race clean, and still have fun. These guys are putting on a heck of a show.
Yeah, everybody's kind of in their same grid where they started as it plays out now. Nick Biddy, we're looking here. Hold on a sec. Mark Whitley, the 7's on the inside of lights. Can he get the pass there? Nothing yet. Crossing the finish line in turn 1. Back to the inside. Kind of looking like Brandon's same inside line as they're trying to work by those guys running the outside to midline. 94 laps down. Can he get the pass here? Not yet. Good driving by number 4 lights. What I did want to say though, you know, there's not a whole lot of movement. So Nick Biddy, one of the number 32, he started grid 13th, is now sitting 9th. But that is one of our biggest movers. Everybody else is kind of checked out where they started in qualifying. Edward Marshall, he's in that 16. He started 9th, is now sitting 7th.
Hey, again, top 10. that's the goal. You know, every little point counts. And like I said, and this is the cutoff race. Keep in mind, if we didn't say it earlier, this is the cutoff race to make it to the next round. The only person that's officially locked in is the 66. There is, unfortunately I can't remember off the top of my head how many drivers right now, and I'll take a look and verify. But you know, 66 is the only driver that's locked in right now. And when you have that and you have him down, you know, Lights and Whitley are probably excited along with Wright. They're doing everything they can to stay in front of him. But you still got one more. You still got to finish this stage out with good results. And you still got to try to find a way to hold him off, as the 0-4 of John Wright is doing everything he can to hold off Brandon Six, and he is doing a heck of a job to do it cleanly.
Yeah, it's been so action-packed. We didn't even pick our drivers. We usually do that in stage 2, but I think we're going to have to wait until the final stage before we do pick our drivers, because there's only about 10 laps left, and we will end stage 2.
We've got to... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, is Brandon Six still trying to get past the 0-4? It just doesn't happen. But, Brandon, what were you going to say?
We got too many battles going on. We got the 7 and the 4 going at it. They just went 3 wide passing Matt Smith. Like, holy cow. Like, there's so many battles right now. You got the 7 and the 4. You got the 66, the 04, and the 51. I'm not sure who that car was that moved out of the way for the leaders. Shout out to you for trying to not cause an issue with the leaders battling. So,
yeah, and if you go up front there, it looks like Mark Whitley now is going to make the pass by Nick Lights.
Yeah, these can they get it? Can they finish the deal? And that's going to be the problem.
That will be the problem. That inside lane just seems like it can get there. It just takes a long time. But man, 1 through 5th in that 6th position, we've got battling non-stop, and we're still green. 105 laps down, 5 less laps left, and this stage 2 will end. Every point counts.
Mark Whitley back to the lead.
Yeah, Mark Whitley's kind of pulling away now. Nick might want to say he's going to ease up and not burn him up too much, but
I was hoping that
Mark up front.
I was hoping that maybe he learned a little bit from, you know, before and didn't burn him up as much. I don't know if he didn't realize or not, but unfortunately he got past the same way that he he did before. But man, the 66 is still hounding the 04. And the 51 is hot on the heels, because he's like, okay, whatever y'all do, y'all mess up, I'm right there to capitalize. So, man. But these guys are, man, racing hard. That's the only thing I can say right now. They are racing hard, racing clean, and man, you can't ask for anything better than that right now. Oh, and we're starting to catch traffic as well. Oh, this should be interesting.
Lap cars into play. If we were with Brandon Six and John Wright, they might catch Nick as well. But here we on board with Josh Larson He's in this mix trying to get by. Oh, we do have a caution out. That is stage 2.
See,
And,
we told you. Everything happened so fast that we lost kind of what last we were on.
absolutely. I thought we had a caution out there, but that is a caution for stage 2, the end of stage 2, which marks that. And Mark Whitley out front wins that stage as well. And real quick, before we get Nick Lights in here, I believe that's who we're going to bring in the booth. Just want to give a shout out to all our sponsors, Units Moving Portable Storage, Wheels America, Admin Box, Slim Dogs, the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast, and Harpoon Designs. Thanks for everybody at Wheels America Racing Network at home tuning in and watching this race at Bristol, and also 22Q Awareness Race. Check them out. There's a link on our YouTube. And man, do we have Mark yet? Are they gonna? I think we're gonna pull them in after the pit. Fantastic racing, Brandon. This is what we love to see, and they're putting on a show.
Tell you what, it makes our jobs so much easier. I will say that we're not trying to fumble during caution and trying to figure out what to talk about next. I mean that happens all the time in broadcast racing. You're trying to figure out what to talk about because there's so many cautions here at Bristol. But you know what? These guys have been racing it clean, keeping it clean for the most part. Saw a lot of guys that maybe weren't on pace to kind of pull it out of the way, to not get involved in the battles. So man, it's like I said, still putting on a heck of a show. Great battle by everybody. I mean, there's there's probably battles out here that we kind of missed as well, unfortunately. But man, these guys are doing the business right now for sure.
Yeah, like you were saying, it makes our jobs easier. I think it also does. It keeps. It's better for the drivers too. It's just a flow of the race. But hey, we're gonna bring in Nick Lights. I believe we have him here now. Nick, are you there? You got a copy?
I gotcha.
Nick,
What's
man,
going
you
on?
and Mark are putting on a show up front for the battle, and there's a big battle behind you as well as they're trying to catch you guys. But hey, stage 2, you got P2. What are you thinking for this final stage, and how you feeling?
Yeah, he's fast, man. I don't know how he just wraps that bottom the whole time. He's saving tires early, which I saw early in stage 2, so I started doing the same thing. But yeah, he just caught me, and we had a clean race there. I don't know. It's probably gonna take some late race cautions and some strategy or something to try to stay in front of him. And
Good.
we need
Yeah.
that win. I guess we both do to advance. Really.
Absolutely. Well, good luck to you. Before you get back to green flag race, and Brandon, you got something for Nick real quick?
Yeah, man. You and you and Whitley are putting on a heck of a show. I know you can't see behind you, but it was a great battle between Six, Wright, and Larson also behind you. Man, how hard are you guys actually racing? Probably 10, 15 laps into a run. Are you guys still kind of like still saving, or are you guys like at that point it's like, okay, I can actually go and I can actually run? Because I'm starting to see like there's not really that many come and goers. Like everybody's kind of like staying in the kind of a like little mini small packs.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to pass. If you're in the back, I try to make up as many positions as you can early when the tires are new. But yeah, those 10, 15 laps on the run, we're pretty much saving tires at that point. But he started applying the pressure and would get to my back bumper, and that's when I'd start going a little bit harder, and that's when we have that good side-by-side racing.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, all right, man. Well, I know you guys are about to go to green, so good luck in the rest of the race, and continue to put on a great show for us.
Thank you, guys.
Well, that is Nick Light. He got P2 on that stage 2, but looks like we're gonna go back to green, and he'll try to get a win out here at Bristol. Caution car is still out there, but he's gonna be jumping off the track, and we'll go back green as he does fall off. And Mark Whitley is gonna pull away. Green flag again at Bristol. Nick Lights and Brandon Six right behind.
Oh, 16 to 39 got together on the front stretch. Look like I don't know if the 39 tried to clear himself. I don't think he was clear though.
Yeah, we're still green, Brandon. You made it sound like there was a big caution in the back and we were going to have to hold the horses, but Mark Whitley's definitely not holding anything back as he's still up front as we're seeing the same battle as we saw in stage 2. But as they cross, we're going to do something for the fans and the drivers and ourselves. We're going to bring the noise right now. And as we were bringing the noise, unfortunately, we brought our first caution out here at Bristol as we had a big wreck on the backstretch there. 34's involved. 39, it looks like, of Joseph Mealy involved. Let's see how this played out. Joseph Mealy gets loose coming out of 2 and runs right into 34.
Yeah, that's kind of a hard hit, but it's not the worst situation from the way it looks right now. Looks like there's definitely some damage on the left front, passenger side.
I think we're going to go on board, Brandon, with the 13. And Lamphere here. See if he gets through. He's on the outside. Yay! Not too much contact, if any, there. Brandon, look at that.
Yeah, that's I had a quote, but I'm not gonna quote that. I would just say close your eyes and hope you get through.
Just hold on tight. Hey, good driving by him though. He could have he picked and chose, you know, up top. He could have went in the wall. Down low, he just kept it straight, and it worked out for him, man. Good driving.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, the 39 getting loose, we've kind of saw that. Saw the same thing, basically happened to Brandon 6. As actually we see Brandon 6 coming down and taking a set of tires. Interesting. But
yeah, Brandon, you know what we got to do. We missed it on stage 2 because there was so much action, nothing but green flag racing, and we missed picking our drivers. I think this caution here that's brought out is a good time for us to decide who our drivers are going to be, and I think we're going to go with AJ first. this evening. AJ, who are you picking? Let's bring in AJ. Who are you going to be picking for your driver to win this race tonight?
Well, after watching stage 1 and stage 2, I'm just going to go for the low-hanging fruit here. Nick Lights has fallen back, which has allowed Mark Whitley to move towards the front and take that lead. So I'm going to go at that number 7 to really put the power down later on in this run if we get a long run and take first place and run away with it.
All right, AJ's got his pick, and Brandon, who do you got for your pick?
Well, my dark horse was the 34, but unfortunately he just got wrecked. So, I'm gonna make it interesting. I'm going to say Larson. I'm gonna go ahead and pick Larson to surprise everybody, and I'm gonna say that Lights and Whitley get involved in some shenanigans, and Wright is in the right place at the right time.
Wow, you got some rhyming going on with that pick. That might just bring some extra flavor for that one. You know, last week I picked Brandon 6, and you guys really gave me the business for that one because he pulled away and did what he got to do. But I'm gonna go with Nick Biddy. Nick Biddy is my pick as we are back green at Bristol. Nick Lights right now though up front, and Mark Whitley's in second. So now he's got to battle back, and let's see if he can make that happen. Josh Larson's in fourth, and Michael Lampier up there. He started P12, is now sitting fifth. As we are on this final stage. This race ends at 200. This is where it's all going to count. One caution so far. So these drivers have really figured out this track early on. Fun to watch, and I cannot wait till the end of this race and see who comes out the winner.
Yeah, and man, here's the only problem with late race cautions: the aggressiveness goes up just a tad more. So you're seeing
it there 3 wide, Brandon.
Yeah, that's why I said the aggressiveness goes up just a tad. 34 is probably a little bit hot under the collar after what happened. He was not able to race last week, so I just see the 66 get super loose again coming out of the corner. You know, he wasn't too high on coming into this race, and we're trying to figure out, you know, how can he guarantee himself to make it into the next round. So, you know, he's gonna have to, you know, claw his way back. If I remember correctly, he was sitting top 5, top 7, so he's around about where he was, but he's probably still not happy to kind of be turned and wrecked like that. So
yeah, but, we talked about this early on, Brandon. Is these cautions may happen here at Bristol, and if you do get the wall and you got some damage, it doesn't matter a whole lot. I mean, obviously you can really hurt that car and not be up to speed. A lot of times than not, you're okay. So then that's one thing about short tracks is you are going fast, but if any damage occurs, it's not big damage. So like you're saying right now, 6, he got loose, hit the wall, little front left damage, but now he's back competing, and he very well may be able to win this tonight.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, you never know. You know, short track racing, I've seen some crazy. Oh no, the 39 is spinning on the front stretch. We got caution again.
That's going to be our second caution at Bristol, as the 39, Joseph Mealy.
Ooh.
I think Matt Fleming might have got into him here, leaving turn 4. He got loose. It just wasn't a quick checkup for Matt. But if you look here, Joseph Mealy, 39, comes out of turn 4, gets a little loose there. And I think it was just a situation with a checkup.
Yeah, the 88 is already throttled up at that point, and you're not really expecting somebody to slow up that much. I mean, maybe a half to a split second that you have time to react, and it's kind of he just barely tags the end of that wall there. I had to see how much damage he has, if any.
That looked exactly like how Brandon kissed the wall earlier on in this race, but we'll mark that up as just a racing incident. Those type of things happen, and especially, wow, Mark's coming in to get some tires. Larson staying out. We also have EJ and Brandon 6. They're all staying out here. So
Well,
late in the race
66
strategy.
Well, yeah. Well, the 66 I know just came down pit road, along with the 34. So, you know, that was kind of expected for them to stay out if another caution came out. It's actually surprising that some of the leaders actually pitted. I'm very surprised at that. But I mean, I understand. We're coming to 50 to go. You're pretty much done. You're not pitting anymore. You got what you got at that point. But I mean, in this situation, you kind of gave up a couple spots though. So it'll be interesting to see if these guys can come back through the field, especially after how loose the car is on the short run.
Yeah, we kind of anticipated this late in the race to see this type of stuff happening. Like we talked about it, we were saying, hey, the flow of the broadcasting is just so fun when we're getting the green flag racing, and then we get these cautions. But it's also a great flow for the driver. Now this late, 146 laps in, 147 now. The strategy and the mind game with pitting, getting tires, getting fuel, whatever that may look like, that's kind of tough to swallow. It's hard to deal with that stuff if you haven't done a lot of short track racing.
Yeah, short track racing is very unique. Unfortunately, in real NASCAR, they don't have too many short track races compared to their mile to mile and a halves. But you know, they have Bristol, they have Martinsville, are pretty much your true short tracks. I mean, unless you want to consider Richmond one, but I really don't consider that. New Hampshire is definitely not a short track. So there are other short tracks that NASCAR runs at, but unfortunately the Cup cars don't. But like I said, I mean, like you said, it's very unique. It's difficult to run. It's difficult to pace yourself on short tracks as well. It's a little bit of a challenge, you know, to be able to to see what lights can do. You know, him staying out on old tires, and he hasn't pitted probably about 15-20 laps now. So his tires and a couple others are gonna have to be the oldest ones, and will be interesting to see what this creates. Might create some more drama.
I definitely think we'll see some more drama as the pace car is off. We're going to go back green. Nick Lights up front's going to take it away as we got Edwin Marshall and Josh Larson. He gets a good jump, but now it's going to get passed on the inside. We got 34 back there. Better place. Mark Whitley. Scary thing about this, Brandon, is Brandon 6 is now sitting fourth. We saw how good he was to get through the pack. Now he's sitting fourth. He doesn't have to go too far to get up to the lead this late in the race. I think he's exactly where he wants to be. That is an interesting aspect of this race right now. So Mark Whitley, Brandon 6, they're going to be battling it out to try to get Josh Larson and Nick Lights.
Oh, there's a car. I don't know who that was. I think it was Lanfear that was on the apron sideways. Oh, Mark Whitley's wrecking. Oh, he wrecks on the front stretch. Comes back on the track. Oh. Just about collected some guys. Still green.
Still green, but Brandon, we've saw a lot of contact, but Mark's got some damage to that front end. That is I think that's a situation where he's going to really see some effects of that car as he's loose already.
Yeah.
He might just have to come in and pit to get that car fixed. I would be surprised if he can stay out, but he's doing it right now.
Yeah, and that's, man, that's one of the things that you got to kind of take into consideration. The tires are, like I said before, tires are low in temp. It's going to take a couple laps for it to come up to speed. And if you push it too hard, the tires are going to... oh, the 34 spins down, wrecks the 04. Oh, my goodness. Oh, no.
Another unfortunate late caution at Bristol as the 34 gets loose. And oh, my. That 04... might have got taken out. That's hard contact in that wall.
Yeah,
maybe the hardest contact we've seen all day.
The 54.
54 gets some contact.
Yeah, he got some
Meeks
too.
gets by. As we're looking at these drivers, some were in the middle of the pack, some were out front. This is going to be a big mix-up. And when we go back green racing, it's going to be very crazy to see where all these drivers end up. Nick Lights, obviously in that 04 or that 4, is out front, and he'll be just fine. Josh Larson, Brandon Six, Edward Marshall, Nick Biddy in that top 5.
And that sucks for the 04. 04 has been running top 5 all night long. And man, that kind of sucks. Sucks for the 34 as well. He's started off with him getting wrecked, and then it's just kind of going down the drain from there. So, you know, can't count anybody out. I don't know how damaged the 04 is. Unfortunately, he could be done. It looked like I did see a little bit of smoke from the back of the car coming from his, so it could be bad. But we'll have to see. You know, these guys are fighting to make it to the next round. You know, so these guys are definitely pushing it. And like I said, once that caution came out for the first time, I said, unfortunately, these guys are going to step up the wick just a little bit more, and that's exactly what we've been seeing.
Yeah, and it is unfortunate. John Wright in that 04, he was our pole setter. He started at the 1P spot, and now his day might be done. And Brandon, do we have a short track next week, or where are we going next week?
Man, we are going from one of the shortest tracks on the schedule to one of the longest. And no, it's not an oval. It's a road course, and it is the Glen, the Watkins Glen. So it's yeah. If you thought Bristol was a handful, wait till you get on the road course and trying to get these tires to come up the temp. It's gonna be even more of a challenge. So, but hey, road courses put on a great show as well. Long as somebody doesn't dominate it, to be honest with you. But road courses gonna put on a heck of a show as well. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But this race isn't over yet, so there's still a lot that can happen tonight. And based on what happens tonight, and we'll see who makes it to the next round for next week. We already know one driver. Who else is left?
Absolutely. A road course is fun, Brandon. I will say that I love a road course. When you've been racing ovals all season and you jump on that road course, it changes everything, and it's a lot of fun to learn that track and to figure out what makes you faster and what not to do. And I think that's the unique thing about a road course.
Yeah, you got lefts, you got rights, straights, grass. what you don't want to do, what you don't want to touch. But man, it's gonna be a while next week, and to see who's gonna really show out next week. But pace car is off. We're coming to green.
We are coming to green. Nick Lights in that 4 is going to take it. As Josh Larson, Brandon Six, and Edward Marshall now are going to be battling. Good jump by Nick Lights. He gets out quick in front.
And this looks like be careful. Oh, well, the first person on the freshest tires is the 66. The 51 and the 4 are basically on the oldest set of tires right now. So it'll be interesting to see if the 66 can still make a pass on them. We'll have to see. We saw him earlier where he was struggling to make passes. But hey, we haven't talked about this guy all race, EJ Marshall, sitting P4 right now. Could he actually come up there and steal the win? You know, we still got Whitley. He's on one of the freshest set of tires, but he has quite a bit of damage. So it'll be interesting. There's a couple of different things that can happen. We'll have to wait and see who can make it happen.
It is all mixed up top. My pick right now, Nick Biddy in that 32. He started grid 13th and now sitting 5th. So I might go 2 for 2, but I am not counting out Brandon Six. He does have those fresh tires, but man, he knows how to drive that car. He's still on that inside lane. He's been fast all day. Edward Marshall is right behind him now. Don't count him out like you were saying. Josh Larson, that 51, he started 6th and now is in 2nd. Looking to get a win here at Bristol.
Hey, don't look too far back. Mark Whitley has caught them with all that damage. So this is about to shape up to be probably a 5 or 6 car battle. So this is gonna be interesting for sure.
Let's go on board with Mark Whitley if we can, because he is moving some spots that I haven't seen all race. Brandon Six did it earlier, but Mark Whitley is making this look easy as he is driving the car.
Oh no!
And as we
no.
go on board with Mark Whitley, he gets loose, gets into the wall. And I think it could have been my fault because, yeah, I will take the L for that.
Oh, Lanphier was in the wrong place at the wrong time, man. And it looks like Mark, yep, gets loose, and when the car's up high, it's,
Big hit.
Wrong place, wrong time, man. But I
Now,
don't
if
see any
Mark-
smoke
if-
coming from the car, though.
If Mark's car is still alive after that caution, we're gonna have to check his car out after the pits because he has got some major damage and still rolling.
Yeah, I mean, these cars are strong. You know, with these bodies are nothing like they used to be. They're composite bodies, and usually when you tag the wall, they pop right back out. So, you know, it looks like he's, well, looks like he might be calling it a night. Pit road's closed. He came down pit road, and looks like he's just crawling at this point. So, could have blew the motor. I'm not sure. But hey, my pick is leading the race, Josh Larson.
Your pick is leading the race. He's been strong. He's been very good in that 51 car. Avoiding the damage now. If you're still alive at this point, you're really getting that short track luck. Josh Larson, Nick Lights, Brandon Six, and Edward Marshall. Nick Biddy, your top 5. Matt Fleming now up there. He's in the 88. He's looking at 6th position. Thomas Meeks in the 55. He's been kind of quiet tonight, but still in that top 10. Joseph Mealy and Matt Smith. Brandon Fetterplace. That's how it sits at the moment. That may change a little bit as they cross the finish line. But, man, 172 laps down. Go to the 200 mark here at Bristol. It's been just a fantastic show, just like last race. These playoffs for the championship have been great. The racing has been, I can't describe it, man. This whole season, it's led up to this, and it's not disappointing.
No, and like I said before, I mean, even with the little bit of cautions that we've had, we understand why. Like I said, these guys are putting it on the line. You got Mark Whitley, definitely, you know, he's damaged, but he's driving the wheels off that thing to try and to get a win, because he basically needs to win a race to lock himself into the playoffs for next week. So, but the rest of these guys do as well. You know, they don't want to have to worry about points. You know, and Larson is sitting in a great spot right now to try and make it happen. Larson was also fast at the last semi-short track that I remember when I was last in the car. I was at Iowa, and he just about pulled that win off. Came up a little bit short to the 66, but Larson's got these short tracks figured out, man. So definitely gonna have to keep an eye on him if we have to. If the rest of the drivers, they got a battle and there's a short track coming up, watch out for Larson.
Yeah, he's out front now, and he's got to be the one to beat. One guy, Thomas Meeks now. He's sitting 4th, started grid 8th. Now we're looking at some drivers that are good at that short run aspect, and we kind of saw the drivers that were good at the long run driving aspect of this track. But the pace car's off. Josh Larson's going to take us away in that 51 as he gets a pretty good jump going into turn 1. Brandon Six, Nick Lights, Edward Marshall right behind. Thomas Meeks trying to get a good run here to get up to the top 5, top 10. He's in that 55. Now Brandon Thomas Meeks now sitting here in that top 5 position. He was a lap down.
Yeah, and hey, look, stay in it. You know, you never know what comes, what can happen, and he's ooh, what a wall. It's a wall there, but hey, 16 holds on to it. 55 makes an amazing pass on the outside and pretty much pulls away from the 16. So 55's got some speed. He's going for it.
Yeah, let's see where he runs it. If he goes onto the inside, outside line, it looks like he's right in the middle. I watched him in the truck series, and he had a good feel for the truck. So one of the drivers that are now racing the Cups tonight or today, I think he's got a good chance of winning here at Bristol. 22 laps to go. Where did the time go by? Because we got to go all the way to 200 mark, and this race is coming to an end. Nick Lights still out front as we got a battle in that 66 now. Brandon Six and Josh Larson. Did Six get by him? Now he's running the top line.
Yeah, so there's some strategy to this. You know, the 66 technically can try and push the 51 up there, but it can't stay behind the 51 forever. So either the 66 is gonna have to try and make a move. So the 66 get loose there. So either the 66 is gonna have to try and make a move, but I don't know if he can because it doesn't look like he really has a car underneath of him right now. So I don't know. You got the 55 and Meeks. He's right behind the 66. He's about to try and pounce on that. I kind of thought Larson kind of had this in the bag, but maybe that was a strategy for him possibly not to win. I'm not sure. But Lights is checked out.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's going to catch him.
Look at that. We almost have 3 wide as we got Meeks on the inside now, running, trying to pass 6. Josh Larson right there in the 51. He's about 1 second behind Nick Lights. Now, Brandon, could Nick get in a situation where he's running too far ahead and he could burn the tires up? Or does he have enough to stay through this race till the end?
Well, I don't know if there's enough time. That's number one. But, I mean, to answer your question, yes. I mean, technically he could. Depends on how hard he's driving. I mean, he's about a second ahead of Larson. So, I'm not sure. Also, not putting any black helicopters out there, but the 51 and the 55 are teammates as well, along with the 4, so they could be working together to try and finish in the top 3. You never know what the strategy is, but I tell you what, the 66 looks like he's definitely faster than the 51 right now, but does not look like
loose.
Yeah, 55 got really loose there, but it doesn't look like the 66 has enough to pass him without possibly causing an issue for himself.
Yeah, well, the battle is back here. Nick Lights in the 4 is on an island by himself out front, but man, nowhere near him. 2/10 faster sounds like that he's than the last 2 laps, and now he's pushing his lead about 2 seconds ahead of Brandon Six in that 66.
Man, looks like the 66 finally got around Larson, but I think it's a little too late. Unless he gets a caution, I don't know if he's gonna catch him there.
And what a race! 10 laps to go, now 9.
55 and the 39, wrecking on the front stretch.
We got the wreck here, still green. Does it stay? No, looks like a caution's going to come out. As the 55 has some contact with the 39. Might be a situation where they may have just got loose. 39 looks like he hits the wall here. Contact with the wall. Comes down 55. We saw this caution earlier, just a racing incident. But, man, 39 is going to get back out there. Joseph Mealy, he's going to run out of time now, though. Joseph Mealy started 7th, was working us all the way up there in that top 5, top 10 area. Now he's going to drop back. 7 laps to go. As we've got another caution. Up front, nothing's changed too much. Nick Lights, Brandon Six, Josh Larson, Edward Marshall, Matt Fleming, your top 5. Matt Fleming putting on a show tonight. He typically has a good crowd here for the Wheels America Racing Network, and it's fun to watch him get up there and try to get this win.
Yeah, but I can tell you what, Nick Lights did not want to see that caution at all. He needs. So we're just told that Nick Lights has to win this race. If he does not win this race, he does not go to the next round. So, I see.
Yeah, Brandon. You got Sorrell, Lights, and Whitley in Fetter Place. So Lights, Whitley, and Fetter Place needed to get a win here tonight to advance. He is right there on that mark. He sits up front. He was out front on an island, and now the caution comes out, and it's going to be a shootout till the end. And if Lights gets past, he doesn't get this win. He is not advancing. You couldn't write this script tonight.
So, it all depends on how hard the 66 wants to push, and how hard the 4 wants to push the issue. So, I don't know. This will be interesting. You still got Larson, and you still got EJ, and Matt Fleming is now P5. So, man, I don't know what happens. It's gonna be a short run, and Nick Lights has had the short run speed all night long. Can he hold on to it along, with the guys behind him having fresher tires? I don't know. With the choose car coming up, I'm sorry. He needs to make sure he picks the right lane. If he does not pick the correct lane, this could be the end.
As they are here. Like Nick's gonna choose up top, as well as Brandon 6, I believe.
Interesting play.
I thought that was interesting as well. I thought he would go low, but they both went high, and now you got Josh Larson in that 51. He went low as well. Matt Fleming went low.
Yeah, interesting play here. I think I kind of understand it. We'll just have to see what shakes out.
It looks like we're missing a car, but I think it's because Nick and Brandon picked 2 up top. So now the 16 of Edward Marshall going to gain a spot. Am I seeing that wrong?
No.
I think
Larson just lagged out.
Larson lagged out, so that is the situation.
He's back. Well, it lagged out for me, but he looks like he's back now.
Well, we are green, Brandon. 3 laps to go, and Nick Lights needed the jump. He got it, and he's out front. Brandon 6 now trying to track him down. Man, what a jump by Nick. He needed that. He needs to win this race, too, to advance, as we're looking on board by Brandon 6. Working the inside lane, spinning it into that turn. He is doing everything he can to try to get to Nick with only 2 laps to go at Bristol.
Yeah, I think he's going to run out of time. It's just not enough laps to try and make that happen unless Nick Lights makes a mistake. I mean, he would have to send it in from the moon to to get it, but Nick Lights gets it done.
Nick Lights gets it done. He gets the win at Bristol, and he will advance. Congratulations to him. Brandon 6 in 2nd. Edward Marshall, he's in 3. Josh Larson and Mark Whitley, your top 5. I don't know how Mark Whitley got to the top 5, but he did. Good job by him, but a great race here at Bristol for the 22Q awareness race. The number 4 of Nick's going to burn it up.
And that will be his 2nd win of the year.
Man.
Got it. Don't want to count. Can't wait to hear his interview and hear what he has to say as well. I know he's probably pretty excited to get that done.
Yeah, we're going to bring him in right now. Nick Lights, he's burning him up. He got the win at Bristol. Man, Nick, are you there?
Oh, yeah. Man. That was crazy.
That was crazy. You did such a great job staying out front. You got the jump you needed on that last caution. I know you hated to see that happen, but you got the win at Bristol. How you feeling?
Man, that was crazy to win in the trucks Tuesday and then win here to do the Bristol sweep like Kyle Busch. No, but that was a ton of fun. Me and Mark had a hell of a battle there at stage 2, and clean race between us both, but this has been a tough track for me for sure, and this car as well. But to finally get a win, and especially here, win number 2 of the year as well. and we had to win to move on. I think to the next round. Just helps us momentum going to the championship 4.
Absolutely. I'll let Brandon talk about that a little bit more. But hey, top 5, maybe one of the best races of the season, and you did it here at Bristol. Brandon, what do you got for Nick, real quick, man?
One question. We got Watkins Glen coming up next week, man.
Oh God.
What's your thoughts on it?
Oh man, I'm terrible at road course in these cars. Something about the brakes, and I don't know. I'm not too good. The trucks, I'll be all right, but I don't think we're going. I don't know if we're going to. I think we're off. I don't know. Either way, it's gonna be something if that happens.
Gotcha. Yes, to answer your question, you guys are off next Tuesday for the trucks. So yeah, so it's just Watkins Glen. Hey, but that gives you more time to practice for Watkins Glen, and then that way, you can go out there and give it your best effort, and try to bring home another trophy, man.
So strong finish is what we're looking for there. That's for sure.
Right. That's right. Congratulations, man, on the win, and you advance, and we'll see you next week.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, P2. We've got Brandon 6 in that 66. I think he ran out of time, but Brandon, you here?
I do.
All right, man, you got P2. You tried to track down Nick. You just ran out of time. And what were your thoughts, man, late in this race? I know you saw that caution come out. You probably wanted to see that, but what were you thinking?
Yeah, just ran out of time, unfortunately. Needed more laps, green flag laps to have a shot at him. I'm kind of happy to get back to second after my shenanigans early in the race and wrecking myself. It actually wasn't too bad. I thought I knocked the toe out of it, but it drove actually pretty good that first stage. It's actually able to drive back to the top 10 after that. So,
well, you got P2. If you would have beat Nick, that would have knocked him out of the championships or the playoffs. He needed that win to advance. You're already locked in. So, congratulations again, Brandon. You got something for Brandon, real quick?
Yeah. Man. Same question that I just asked Nick. We got Watkins Glen coming up. I personally know you're looking forward to Watkins Glen, but let the fans know and everybody know how you feel about it.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at Watkins Glen. Pretty good at usually all the road courses. I'd say Watkins Glen's probably not my best one, just because it's more of a high speed track. It's kind of not as technical of a road course, so I think it'll be a pretty good race between myself, Whitley, and I think Frankie's going to be there next week, so I know those guys are pretty good on road courses, so it should be exciting.
All right. Well, we will see you next week then. Congratulations on that P2 finish, but you'll be strong next week as well.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you. All right. I think we got our P3, Edward Marshall in that 16. Bringing him in. Looks like we are waiting just a second. Edward Marshall, do you got a copy here?
Sir, how are you?
Good, man. Edward, you were in the mix, man. You started 9th. You finished 3rd. You were up there a majority of the race. What were your thoughts when that last caution came out? Because I knew that was going to change the whole dynamics of this race.
Let's go. Let's mix it up. The track's super hard to pass on, so cautions is really where you're gaining your positions. So I'm glad to see it. My tires is glad to see it. I think I probably had the longest run on those tires out of everyone in the field right there. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, everyone put on a show, including yourself. Congratulations on that P3. Brandon, you got something for Edward real quick?
Yeah. Watkins Glen next week, buddy. How you feeling about it?
I'm not a road course man, so I got to put in some laps this week.
It sounds like
everybody is saying the same thing.
The exact same thing. Nobody's excited for Watkins Glen. But guess what? put y'all big boy pants on and get ready to do some shifting and some road course racing in the next gen car at Watkins Glen next week.
Yeah, I'm excited. I wish I was better. So
I hear you.
we'll see.
All right, we'll see you. We'll see you then. Congratulations again, man, tonight.
Thank you guys. Y'all have a good night.
All right.
You too.
Well, Brandon, that brings the end to Bristol. Once again, these playoffs, the championship playoffs, have provided for these races. It was so fun. It was a great race tonight.
Yeah, I mean, look, the first two stages were absolutely amazing. Battles all over the place. Last stage, I mean, like we all know, if the caution comes out, it's gonna breed more caution because they kind of brought back together, kind of confined again, and that stuff is gonna happen. So, at the end of the day, the race overall was great. We had some of the guys that we thought had a great chance. They were loose. They struggled. Brandon Six spun, early on the run. Mark Whitley had issues as well. He spun and got collected, and some of the other drivers who were on the cutoff also had issues. So, it was a wild race. I love the cutoff races because it allows me to kind of see what these guys can really do from outside of the car and just seeing the different what their different abilities are and what they can do. And Light showed them, hey, I'm still the short run king, because he is. And if you ever have a short run and you're against Lights, be ready for a battle.
Yes, and the battle was won by Nick Lights in that number 4. He got P1. He got the win tonight, and he will advance in the championship playoffs. Man, I'm going to close it up. I just want to say thanks to everybody at Wheels America Racing Network for tuning in. We appreciate you being here every Thursday night, every Tuesday as well. 22Q awareness race at Bristol provided. Check them out. The link is in YouTube. We want to thank everyone as well, all of our sponsors, Units Moving Portable Storage, Wheels America, Admin Box, Flim Dogs, the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast, and Harpoon Designs. Congratulations to these top 5 drivers and everyone out here participating. We've got road course next week at Watkins, and that will also bring the action. But for now, we want to say thank you, and we will see you then. Good night.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join Nerds Doing Nerd Things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.